What happens when your wife gives birth and people accuse her of cheating and claim that that child is not yours? What is the role of media when it comes to building strong families? Today, we get to meet a couple as we tackle these pertinent questions. Welcome to Decoded. My name is Dayan Masinde. I am a relationship and marriage coach. Every week, I sit down with different couples to find out what issues in their relationship or their marriage they need decoded. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Byron, and I'm here with my wife, Christine.
Hi everyone, my name is Christine Byron. I am born again Christian. I love God so much because He's the reason that I'm here today. I'm an ex-cabin crew and I'm very passionate about counseling and I'm also a model.
Okay, since you say that, I also work with young people. I'm a director of youth affairs and missions, yeah, at our local church where we serve together. So we're glad to be here, and I think today we all know why we're here. Yeah, why are we here?
So we are here to give a marriage talk because marriage is a blessing from God and it's a good thing, it's beautiful. We are here to give the version of what God says about marriage and not what the world says about marriage.
Exactly, and I can say that it's good, and sometimes, and most of the times, it can be rough. Yeah, and we're going to share, or we're sharing our challenges, the things that we've been through, the challenges that we've had along the way for the past 6 years now, from the time we were dating until now we're here. I think the first challenge was the day when I met you and we went to the pastor and I wanted to marry you immediately.
Yeah.
And I remember our spiritual father, by the Pastor Jimmy Masharia, Harvest Family Church, he actually advised me as a spiritual son that, just wait, take your time. Yeah, and I think that was a beautiful thing for me. I can confess that after that, I can say that that was a good deal.
Yeah.
And it really worked for our good as a couple.
And what I can also say is that with the young generation, it's also good to listen to the older people, the people who have gone ahead of us. It's good to listen to them when they tell us to wait.
In other words?
There is no need to rush.
In other words, it's good to have mentors, right?
Yeah, it's good to have mentors because for us, he has been our mentor from the time we got to the church. From the time we were youths, he has been our mentor and he has taught us so much.
We are still youth.
Yeah, we are still young, we are youth. We thank God for that.
for now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a blessing, and we thank God that we're here. It's only has been by God's grace. We can only give glory to Him. Yeah.
So the challenge that my husband and I faced is that when I met him, I was a cabin crew and I was working in the Middle East and he was here in Kenya. So the long distance relationship was very tough for us, but by God's grace we managed because if it's love that binds you together, then no distance can keep you away from each other.
True, and I think another one is parenting. It hasn't been easy, by the way. Parenting is a good thing. Having a child or having a baby in the house is really fantastic. But again, challenges come in when you're a first-time parent and you're faced with some things and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to go about them. There's no model. Okay, there are out there, but if you don't search for it, nobody's going to tell you this is what you need to do with your child at this time at blah, blah, unless you search for it.
Yeah.
It's not an information that it's out there. So I can say parenting is also a challenge to some point. Yes, but thank God, we thank God so far. God has been good to us.
Yeah.
Our baby is now
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
No, she's turning 3 years.
Yeah,
This month, actually.
this week.
This week.
Yeah. So something also I can say is that I thank God for my husband because I really didn't know how I'm going to be a first-time mom. But he surprised me. He bought a book that was detailed with 1 year old baby, and he taught me. Yeah, 1 to 3.
5 years.
Yeah, 1 to 5 years old, how to deal with a baby from the time she's born to the time she's 5 years old. So for me, this really helped me. And I'm grateful, at least this far. I am proud of myself for being our daughter's mom.
Yeah. But the one thing, last one, I think. When people talk about, how do you say, when people talk about troubles or challenges in
yeah.
marriage, they always talk about infidelity part,
Infidelity, yeah.
part of it, you understand? They always talk about cheating, blah, 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 what somebody has done. But realize that there's some challenges that are not spoken about,
yeah,
you
yes,
understand?
yes.
Apart from the ones that people know. There's some that are internal, even spiritually you can be challenged in marriage, you
Yeah.
understand? Especially if you're not, if you don't have the same foundation
Oh, yes.
spiritually.
Yeah, yeah.
There's going to be a challenge in your relationship or in your marriage as you continue because there's a disconnection. There's going to be a disconnection whereby when I'm transitioning or God is transitioning me into something, you're not in it.
Yeah.
Understand? So
Very
if there's no connection, if there's no synchrony spiritually, it can also be a challenge. People don't talk about it because they don't feel like it's a big deal, but it's really a big deal. In fact, it's a major deal
Yeah.
because before a marriage or a relationship is seen in the outer face, it starts from a place where it's not seen, and that is the spiritual aspect of it.
Yeah.
Before you become, there's a spiritual connection that connects you. So without that, there's gonna be a challenge.
It's now time for me to have a conversation with this amazing couple, air hostess na bwana wake. And today we are joined by an amazing guest, their beautiful daughter. Anaitwaje?
Neema.
Hey, mpaka mnasema Neema at the same time. Yes, Neema unapendwa. Okay, now you were telling me that you met in church. Mlipatana kanisani.
Yes.
Ukifanya nini?
I'm part of the praise and worship
Yeah.
team, or by then I was part of the praise and worship team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she was an usher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw her.
Actually, we were around together for a while,
Yeah.
and then she was around. Then
Yeah.
that she came in, and then I saw her. We
Yeah.
were friends.
Yeah.
Actually, the brother was my best friend.
Oh.
Yes,
Hey, you
my
knew the
best-
brother before, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Already
By the way, I knew the brother
Islamic,
before.
grounds, eh?
Yeah, I knew the brother before, but the intention was not to get to her.
Yeah,
In fact,
just as a friend.
I had
Yeah.
a lot of respect for her because of the bro code, you
Yeah,
understand? So
yeah.
she was like a sister,
Yeah.
you know, when your best friend,
Sister in Christ.
Sister in Christ.
yeah, your best friend's sister,
Yes.
you see her as a sister as well. So
Yeah.
you don't have any other feelings, any other funny stuff
Yeah,
in your mind.
yeah.
So I never had that
Yeah.
until it came a time when I was praying to God for a wife.
Yeah.
We are actually fasting in our church
Yes.
that
You
January.
two, you was fasting in your
Yeah,
church.
there was a fasting. It was a fasting period.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, I love that. I
Yeah.
love how she's moved from daddy to mom, parent to dad together.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, and then
Yeah.
when we were doing the fasting, that's when one of the prayers was that you don't guess. Whatever you're going for in that year, you
Yeah.
don't guess. If it is a business, you don't guess.
Yeah.
If it is a relationship,
don't
you
guess.
don't
No
guess.
guesswork.
You know guesswork. So, because I had been in previous relationships,
Yeah.
so I said, I called myself for a meeting and I said, okay, this time I don't want to guess. You know, and that was my prayer. And I was praying as I'm opening my eyes as well.
Yeah.
And I had my targets, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, in the church, you're in the pulpit,
Yeah.
you're on the pulpit,
There
and
are lots
you
of
sing.
sisters in
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can see clearly, you understand?
Yes,
So I
yes.
had my targets. I
Yeah.
had, if not that, it's that,
Yeah.
if not that, it's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
And then you saw her.
yes, as I was praying, the revelation came that this is the one.
Yeah.
She's the one, and definitely.
And now, to you, Christine, how
Yes.
did he approach you?
So I had actually flown in from my work that day,
Yeah.
and so I was actually checking in the hotel, and this waitress came and told me, "Hey girl, how are you?" I told her I'm fine, and then she said, "There is someone calling you there at the corner," and then I was like, I don't know anyone around, so. Then she told me, there is a guy, he's a senator, he's calling you and he wants to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
I looked at her and I told her, no, I have to rush to Rongai because I'm going to church. Because that day we had a women's meeting in our church, so which we actually have it every end of the month. So I felt like it was a bit of distraction for this guy to call me,
Yeah.
but I told the lady, just tell him I'm in a hurry, I have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I went to the room, prepared myself, and I rushed to Rongai.
Yeah.
So when we got there, actually it was a testimony day
Yeah.
for the ladies meeting, and then we were 3 ladies who were going to give a testimony, and the program of the meeting said, we are going to have 3 ladies giving testimonies, but Christine, you're going to be the last one, and I'm kindly requesting you to go and sit next to Byron. So when she said next to Byron, that statement really didn't get out of my mind.
Actually, that's where I started picking my signals.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, why would it be that
Yeah, just
it was
sit
that
next to
specific
Byron,
to
yeah.
come and
Next
sit
to
next to
Byron.
me?
Yeah.
So I took it as a prophetic word,
Yeah.
not just a word
Yeah.
that I just had. So I took it, and when she came, I felt like, she should be sitting next to me most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And then you started building that connection, and then you wanted to marry her. You're telling me
Yes.
you wanted to marry her immediately.
Yes.
You were like, no wasting time.
Yes.
And then you had your spiritual father tell you,
Yeah.
like, you know what, hold up, take your time.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that was an important thing. Why was that important to pause?
Okay.
To take your time.
In the first place, when he told us about it, I was offended by the way.
You're offended?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, okay, why would you not be offended?
Yeah.
If somebody tells you you can't have your cake now.
Ugoje kwa nini?
Yeah, ngoje kwa
You already
nini?
know what
and,
you want.
And we are all in agreement.
Yeah.
If it would have been that one person is for it and one person is not,
Yeah.
then we would say, okay, give one person time.
Yeah.
But now, here we are, all of us are ready to get into
Yeah.
this. And then he was telling us to wait. Okay, at the moment, it didn't
It
seem...
didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because, and it happened to a lot of people, especially if you're in a relationship and also a new one and fresh one. It's not easy to take sound advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, every sound advice doesn't sound sound.
You're excited. You're
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
you want to get married now.
Yeah,
Kama
yeah,
si sasa ni sasa
Yes,
hivi.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on after, then we realized actually
We needed it.
we needed it. Yeah, we needed that time to, have time with ourselves,
Yeah.
to pray more,
Yeah.
to seek God more, to set a foundation, and it really worked for us.
I love that.
Yes.
To set a foundation.
Yes.
Because foundation is key.
Yeah,
Very
very
key,
key, very, very
foundation is very
key.
And by the way, what do you know? What do you know about foundation?
I think last week we were sharing about foundation, and the foundation of marriage is God. If you don't have God in your marriage, then that marriage, it's not gonna go anywhere,
Yeah.
because God is the original maker of marriage.
Yeah.
He's the one who gave the idea about marriage, and he created everything for marriage.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about, like, a marriage is like a building. The foundation of the building is supposed to be the strongest,
Yeah.
because even if the wind comes and carries the building, the foundation will remain.
Yeah.
And this, yeah,
If the foundation remains, it's easy to bring up the building again.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Than when the foundation is swept off.
Oh, I
If
love
it is
that.
swept
I
off,
love that.
you have to start again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the foundation is set,
Yeah.
at least you have
You
So
something
can-
no
you
to
matter
can-
build
what,
upon. Yes.
no matter the circumstance, no matter the storm, or however how big or how stormy it may be,
Yeah.
you're going to be sustained.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes the top can go, the building can be weakened and all that,
Yeah.
but the foundation, is
foundation
key.
is
Yeah, if
key
you have the
to-
foundation, then you have the whole building.
Yeah.
Yes.
And foundation takes time. It
Yeah.
takes
Yeah,
time to
it
build the right
takes time.
foundation. You know each other.
Yeah.
You understand the principles. This is where we're supposed to go. This is how we're supposed to handle conflict. This is how
Yeah.
we're supposed
Yeah.
to interact. This is what I love. This is what I don't love.
Yeah.
You know what? You get to know each other better. And then you mentioned that you being an air hostess. Yeah?
yes,
So you were in America when you were pregnant.
yeah,
And then you gave birth in America. Ladies and gentlemen, after the break, we shall get to find out what happened when she was giving birth in America. And guess where Byron, the husband, was? In Kenya. How was it? Stick around, and after the break, we shall get to find out. Stay tuned to Decoded.